Walk in the Clouds at the San Luis Adventure Park in Costa Rica on our Silver Moon cruise. The Walk in the Clouds adventure here at the San Luis Adventure Park, part of our Silver Moon cruise, April 2025. It is an hour and a half long bus ride to get up to the adventure park. There was an accident on the road, so we're delayed by another 30-45 minutes. Fortunately, nobody was injured in the accident, but it did delay our getting there, so our tour guide felt rushed to get us back to the ship on time. Up here at the beginning, they do put some fruit out to try and attract some birds, so you can see some wildlife. Cindy did get a couple good pictures of a couple birds there. I didn't really see any clear enough to get any good views or pictures of. One of the highlights of this excursion was supposed to be their hummingbird garden. Cindy was really looking forward. She has hummingbird feeders out in the front yard, backyard. Joy's taking care of the birds all summer long, so we're really looking forward to this. And what they had was several regular backyard hummingbird feeders out there at the beginning of the trail. There was one lonely hummingbird that came in, flirted around for a few moments, and then left. We had seen other videos where there were lots of hummingbirds, and it was the highlight of their trip and everything. Unfortunately, maybe we were there the wrong time of year. April, into the dry season, springtime, where birds are migrating back up north, so maybe we just missed all of them. Maybe December, January would be a better time of year to see the hummingbirds there. But I understand there's dozens of different types of hummingbirds that make their home down in the region. There's that one lonely hummingbird that came in for just a few moments. People trying to get pictures of it while they could, but they're so fast it's almost impossible to get pictures of them. Our guide was trying to explain something. We had a little larger group than really maybe would have been optimal for this. Many times the group would get so far ahead of a small group of us that had mobility issues. I literally had to call out, yell out, hey, wait for us, get them to wait. They got so far up ahead and out of sight. Even at the very end of the trail, they just took off and left us, and we had to go looking for them. But the general rule of thought in Costa Rica is they're saying pura vida, which means pure life, which roughly translates to, oh well, your problem, not mine. Deal with it. As you saw there, ants on the bird feeders, which discourages hummingbirds, unfortunately. It's hard to keep ants off, as well we know. So now we did try and look at videos before we went on this cruise to determine if we'd be able to handle the walk, not knowing exactly where our excursion was taking us. We really didn't know. Most of the videos we saw had really nice, well-maintained, even trails. But as you can see here, this trail's a little rough. The steps can be very uneven and steep. These steps coming halfway up Cindy's calf, and others were much steeper than that. Had to help her quite a bit with the steps. Some other nice gentlemen helped this other kind old lady with the steps. But we had a hard time trying to keep up with our tour group. But there was lots of beautiful vegetation there. Guy did warn us to be careful where we put our hands, make sure there were no ants or other insects there. So they do have the bullet ants, which if they bite you, it feels like you've been shot by a bullet. A couple good examples of some unique trees, although I think I've seen these pretty much most Caribbean ports.
Compost pile that has a thickness of about 2.5 meters, something like that. So,
Did get to see some carpenter or leafcutter ants, rather. Probably the highlight of this little walk for me. Apparently, they are a very important part of the ecosystem, keeping the vegetation in check, cutting the leaves down, taking them back to their nest, mulching them up for food for their queen. The trail does have several nice hanging bridges to go across. Get some good views of the trails that you've walked on down below by the river. Some vegetation. If you're lucky, some birds. I never saw any birds other than what we saw there at the very beginning. These bridges do sway a little bit. It's not a big problem. Just make sure you hold on and keep an eye out for those bullet ants. To get out in the middle of them, you do get a good view, like I said. Half the time you're walking on the trail down by the creek that goes underneath the bridge. Like this gentleman actually saw something, a butterfly possibly, trying to get a picture of briefly. There's several of these bridges to cross. Not seeing any wildlife, just that one hummingbird. The unevenness of the trail and the steepness and unevenness of the steps there made it difficult, disappointing. Like I said, our guide and half the group just got so far ahead of us too many times. The guide was provided by the tour company, not by St. Louis Adventure Park. Hopefully their guides do better at making sure everybody stays together. I'm sure they do. A couple places we saw some unique flowers. This one place was not able to get a good pictures of them, video. These looked like lips. At the end, like I said, our group left us. By the time we found them, they were already eating. Rice, chicken, plantain, and something vegetable thing. Cindy just got salad, and they gave her chicken, even though she said she just wanted salad. They also had beans, pork, fish. Our highlight of the excursion actually was on our trip back to the ship. Stopped someplace for the obligatory shopping in a nice big tourist inflated shop. And out back they actually had a butterfly garden. It was not overly large, but they did have some really beautiful butterflies there. They were doing some construction, looked like they're trying to enlarge it, which is great. They had some very beautiful, and someone there said a very rare type of butterfly. I'm not sure which one that was. I didn't catch everything they said. A lot of these that look like they have an eye on them and brown, when they open up their leaves, the top side of their wings rather, are this real nice bright blue. There's some beautiful flowers there. So this wound up being the highlight of our whole excursion. Right behind the shops that they stopped at. Easy to get to, easy to walk around in. Bright blue that's on the top side of those butterflies there. They have their wings closed up. You can see it there. So beautiful. And these just look like dried up leaves when they're just hanging up underneath. That may be the really rare one they were talking about, I'm not sure. So we got back to the ship. There were some dancers and musicians playing for us. Really nice show there. Welcome us back to the ship. Because of the long ride up and back and that traffic accident I mentioned, did not have time to go ashore in the port. I did go to the stern of the ship, try to get a nice pan and shot of the port area. Looked like a typical shopping area right there at the end of the pier. Beaches, I'm sure there's some bars and restaurants. There's even a Burger King if you're really craving the American fast food. Food on the ship was much better than Burger King any day of the year. I hope this gives you some information if you're looking at the canopy tour at the San Luis Adventure Park and have mobility issues. Could be a problem for you. If you're in good shape, then no problems at all.